All eyes on Doge. Big run up. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Today, not a bad day. 1969. 1969, the price of Doge. Yeah, last night we did dip, or did get right over 20 cents and then got rejected at 20 cents. Talked about that in my video this morning. But we didn't retrace all the way back down to 19, and we're not in the 18s. So that's good. We're in the green. It's not a huge run, but it's better than all the tariff fears that could be because of U.S. steel, 50% tariffs. Oh no, the world's crashing. No, everything's all right. And in fact, the stock market this afternoon was up. I mean, we're doing okay. The world's not crashing. It's June. That sell in May, go away thing that I was saying probably isn't going to be a thing this year. It's probably not going to be a thing this year. Best to hold and ride it and continue to pick up on the dips. The reason for the title today is because, I mean, it's just comment after comment, chat message after chat message is all about, Pepe's doing better than Doge. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear that anymore. It's like, it's all good. You can take any 2 points a time and you can prove your coin is better than another coin. In the end, does it really matter? I mean, does it really matter? Oh, I should have gone and bought that. It's up 100%. Well, then you should have, but you didn't. So what are you going to do about it now? Right? That's what I say. Just be real about it. It's like, no shoulda, woulda, couldas here. It's like you made the decision you made to buy what you made, but don't criticize others for making a decision to buy a different coin unless it's just a stupid token that doesn't do anything. But all that aside, we're all in this together, right? In this whole crypto, we're all in this together. I want us all to win. I want us all to get rich. I want us all to use cryptocurrency, to use digital assets for what they are. Let's keep building and be positive. And at the same time, rich, I mean, that's a relative term, rich, but improve our financial position in life? Yes, we should try to do that, as well as make this conversion from fiat, right? Fiat, the ever-inflating dollar or pound or euro or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, the governments continue to print more and more and more of, which means the value of that fiat money continues to go down and down and down. So I'm not holding a big bag of fiat money. I'm in crypto. It's the opposite of fiat. Do you want a deflationary asset or an inflationary asset? And I know, yeah, Dogecoin has inflation, but it's decreasing inflation over time, meant for you to actually use Dogecoin as a currency, as was the initial idea behind Bitcoin. But now, Bitcoin, there'll only ever be 21 million of them. Scarcity, strategic reserve. That's not what Satoshi meant. That wasn't the idea behind Bitcoin, is to hoard it in a strategic reserve and never sell it. The old Michael Saylor, I'm never selling my Bitcoin, or you don't sell your Bitcoin. Well, if you're wanting to use it as a currency like it was meant to be, then you don't sell it. You actually use it, right? You buy things with it. But who's using their Bitcoin to buy stuff? Everyone's hoarding it because the BlackRocks, right, and the governments and all of that are buying Bitcoin to hold it for long term. Or Dogecoin, people are willing to tip with it. They're willing to spend it, to have fun with it. That's kind of what it was made for. Yes, it was made to be a joke about all these other cryptocurrencies that were flooding the market back in 2013. Well, here's another one. Let's just make it off a stupid meme, right? The Doge meme. That's why it was made. It was just a joke. But you know what? The code behind Dogecoin is actually pretty good. Billy Marcus actually did a really good job coding Dogecoin, and through that initial sort of update that was done in 2014, which got rid of the randomization of the mining rewards and fixed that. And it's just like, that ended up being really, really good. So this is what we've got. This is what Dogecoin is. But if you've got a bunch of Pepe, and you got a bunch of Sheeb, or you got WIF or Bonk or Casino Coin, whatever it is, awesome. Good for you. I hope you do well. I really do. I don't wish bad luck on anybody with anything that they invest in. I just don't want to hear you say to me, "You Dogecoin sucks. You should have bought Pepe," because it doesn't matter. It's not a competition. It's really not a competition. Let's all do well. And if for some short period of time, Pepe or WIF or whatever outperforms Dogecoin, awesome, great, good for you. But you know what? There'll be another short period of time where Dogecoin will outperform those. You pick your dates of whatever fits your narrative. Awesome, great, love it. But in the end, Dogecoin is the one that's going to be adopted and used as a currency. That's what the House of Doge is building. That's what Doge OS is building. All of these things upon which Dogecoin will be used as a currency. That is all being built now. Yes, there are some, right, that will say Dogecoin has no utility. And up to now, it has been very limited. No doubt. There's no doubt about that, right? There's a select number of businesses, services, etc., that accept Dogecoin. Got it. But now that the narrative is changing as Bitcoin becomes more and more a store of value, there continues to be a lot more discussion about which digital currencies are actually going to be used as a currency. And the only one I hear being talked about regularly as a currency, peer-to-peer currency to buy goods and services and to tip people with, is Dogecoin. I don't hear that being talked about for anything else. XRP, that's going to be this whole swift thinking thing between countries and the banks and all of that. Great. You can use your XRP for that. Awesome. In fact, you don't actually have to use XRP for that. You can use RippleNet and just do that, right? If you look at what XRP actually is, you'll know that. You'll figure that out. And the whole Lightning Network thing seems to have failed. No one's using the Lightning Network because people are hoarding their BTC. The country of El Salvador, right, allows BTC to be a currency for a while. Guess what? That's no longer the case. The unbanked are going to use failed miserably. No. And even the country of El Salvador continues to buy Bitcoin to store it as a reserve, not to use it for transactions. So all of that leads to where we are today. How's everybody doing? Look, right now, Dogecoin experienced almost $1 billion in trading volume over the past 24 hours. So it's being heavily traded, even though we're in the summer now. It's still being heavily traded. Dogecoin is. A lot of it is bot trading. I know there's a lot of that, but that's all across crypto. There's bot trading. It's not just Doge. But there's a lot of interest in Doge, particularly when Doge is going sideways like it has now for the past 4 days. There's swing trading going on. There's a lot of that. So a lot of that is the volume, but it's all good. Trading Doge. Awesome. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin rise as China counters Trump's trade deal breach claim. Analyst says BTC success riding on the health of the U.S. economy. Bitcoin success rides on the health of the U.S. economy. Do we want that for Dogecoin? We don't want Dogecoin to rely on the health of the U.S. economy, right? Dogecoin should just do its own thing. That's what I want. Not U.S. economy is tied to fiat, right? The dollar. Dogecoin should not be tied to that. Meanwhile, Dogecoin begins rebound. What was the title of my live stream yesterday? Bottoming, right? Dogecoin bottoming. And here we are now coming out of that bottom. We're coming up. So I called the bottom, 1869. That's still the bottom as we are recovering. Doesn't mean I might not dip again, but right now, things are looking positive. But these Solana and Ethereum meme coins are up even more. Dog with Hat, Pepe, and others up way more on the day. And I'm like, awesome. Congratulations, Pepe with holders. You're up a little more on the day than Doge. Awesome. Good for you. Congratulations. Personally, I bought Pepe, I sold Pepe, I made a profit. I bought Bonk, sold Bonk, made a profit. I bought Sheeb, I sold Sheeb, I made a profit. I'm good. Now I'm just buying Dogecoin for the big Dogecoin run that I think is eventually going to come, and I'm buying on the dips for Doge. So if Pepe goes up more on the day, okay, awesome. Golf clap. Congratulations. I'm buying Doge. But hey, that's just me. And some of you as well. But if you want to buy Pepe and you want to buy WIF, you want to buy Bonk or whatever it is, awesome. Do it. If you have confidence in it, they'll probably do well. Now I am in the state of mind that there's 2 cryptocurrencies and maybe a third if you want to include ETH for smart contracts. But Bitcoin store of value, Dogecoin as a day-to-day peer-to-peer currency. What else do you need? You can do all your smart contracts and your DeFi and your lending, whatever. Awesome. But cryptocurrency was supposed to be about using it as a currency to buy things. And Dogecoin is going to fit that. Dogecoin price prediction. Why it may lag behind, and the 3 best altcoins ready to soar. Awesome. Great. Most of these are going to be shilled. Whatever's being shilled, I don't even know what this is. Doge, where Doge is. Why would you diversify behind Dogecoin? There's a good question. Some of you, that's all you own is Doge. You don't own anything else because you believe in Doge. Awesome. Dogs AI, that's a shill. I wouldn't be touching that one. Ethereum, the backbone of DeFi and Web3. So ETH, many are predicting ETH is going to do very well. I still own a little bit of ETH. So I'll probably keep it, and let's see what happens this fall, if there is an alt season or not, and all that happens. And then I'll take my profit on the rest of my ETH. I already took a big profit on some of my ETH. But I still have some. We'll see how that goes. And Solana, I made some profit on Solana back in 2023. Should have held a little more. Should have. Rolled it into ADA because I thought Cardano always follows Solana, and it did, just not the same amount of gains as I would have had if I held on to Solana. But now Solana has actually been tanking pretty bad. So there's an opportunity if you want to buy Solana on the dip, if you believe in that. Personally, I think most of the volume that there has been in the Solana ecosystem has all been those stupid pump.fun tokens. And now there's even a new one called Bells. And if you know what the history of Bells is, Bells was the proof of work cryptocurrency that Billy Marcus made before Dogecoin. And someone just created a Bells clone as a token on Solana, and it's getting all this attention, but it is just a stupid meme token, and someone's going to dump it. It's a money grab. There is a Bells coin, though, that was revived, a proof of work cryptocurrency that is trading again. Somebody revived it a couple of years ago. And so that exists, but now there's also this stupid Solana token. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. So this one, is it a competition? Well, what I do is I use the Doge Bitcoin trading pair just to show how Doge is performing against Bitcoin, not as a competition, but more as a point of reference to see Bitcoin versus Dogecoin in price performance, because it interests me. And because I'm not buying Bitcoin now, I'm buying Dogecoin, and maybe at some point in time, I will flip some of my Doge into Bitcoin for a longer term savings plan. But then again, I'm a boomer. Maybe I want to keep it for my kids, and my kids take it over. Sure, you can have the Bitcoin. Awesome. I don't know yet. But Trader Alan's looking at it, and he's like, look, Doge versus Bitcoin. Higher high, higher low. Could we see this next big run of Doge versus Bitcoin? And yet again, Trader Alan, as I've been saying again and again and again, he's comparing it to this November 2024 run, which again was all on the backs of the Trump presidency, Elon starting the Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, and all the hype around that, and Doge went up 300%. This summer, Doge is not going up 300%. Just being honest. Could it this fall? Maybe. But I am watching this trading pair, Doge versus Bitcoin, and believe it will go higher. So I am buying Doge, and then maybe some of my Doge I'll flip over to Bitcoin. That's just my plan. That's what I'm doing. Meanwhile, Doge bulls gain momentum. Can Doge break above that 20 cents resistance? That's what we have right now. Is that 20-cent line in yellow here. And that's what we will be watching as Doge tries to break through 20 cents. Meanwhile, how about this? Elon Musk's exit from the government could trigger a 40% rally. Is Elon going to do something? Is Elon going to do something with Doge? Now that he's criticizing the government for the stupid, big, beautiful bill, the BBB, right? Because the big, beautiful bill continues to have stupid spending in there to help the people in Congress pat themselves on the back that they got spending programs for their districts, because that's how the government works. And Elon is now criticizing it. But Could he do something with Dogecoin? Is that going to happen? I'm not planning on Musk to do anything with Doge, but it's always out there. Meanwhile, Doge Tipping says if X Money launches without Dogecoin integration, he's not going to use it. Yeah, I mean, I met Doge Tipping last week in Vegas. Great guy. And I get it. He's all about Dogecoin. So his point is, I'm not going to use X Money unless Doge is on it, which is great. And I'm saying I will use X Money upon launch to get rid of my bank, but fully expect Dogecoin to one day be integrated. But right now, I am all for being debanked. I don't like the banks. I don't want to be associated with banks anymore. If I can live my life without banks going forward, that is my goal. Elon and Linda say that is X payments. That's what X Money is going to be about. So you can get rid of the banks. And I'm like, okay, I'm on board for that. Dogecoin can come later. I don't need Dogecoin on day one. In fact, I don't expect Dogecoin on day one. But I get what Doge Tipping is saying. He's like, he's all Doge. He only wants Doge. And if X Money doesn't have Doge on launch, he's not going to use it. Okay. That's all right. Meanwhile, Commander Doge Landing says fiat is done. It will only make you poorer. Ask your company if they can pay you in Dogecoin. Seriously. Seriously. Ask your employer, hey, can you just pay me in Dogecoin instead? Pay me in Dogecoin. So we will see how that all works out. But that's where we start today. Doge is hanging out, 1950. Awesome. Let me catch up on the chat, guys. What's going on? We do have a super chat from DJAR. What's up? Doge for sure. But do you buy any other crypto? No. I used to have Jasmy. I made a lot of money on Jasmy. I bought it at 0.003. So less than a third of a penny, and I sold it at 3 cents. So that was a 10x. And so I took my profits on that. I used to have a lot of different cryptos. Now I'm narrowing my whole portfolio down. I got rid of 20 some odd different cryptos, and now I only have about 6. And I don't even know what Moonwell and Nadix are. And all I'm buying right now is Dogecoin. And I'm still on Webull doing some swing trading on stocks like Megal. Megal, which went up 12% today. Making money on Megal. For those that were watching Megal stock, up today. And of course we have, I want another big dip so I can buy more. Didn't buy enough. But Johnny, yesterday I said it's the bottom. So buy what you can. When you can. And it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. Somebody asked yesterday, hey, Kriss, I've got 1,000 pounds. When should I spend this? And I was just like, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can buy 500 pounds worth now, right? At this price. And we were down over here, right? We were down at like 19.2 or 19.3 or whatever yesterday. Said you can buy, say 500 pounds here, and then you've got your other 500 pounds in case it goes lower. It might not. You don't know. Doesn't have to be all or nothing. And if he had spent that first 500 pounds and bought here at 19.2, he'd be up on that, and he'd have his other 500 waiting to see if we have another dip or not. Doesn't have to be all or nothing. Big golf claps. Yes, I love my golf claps. It's like, yeah, congratulations with your Pepe or your bonk, whatever you're making money on. Golf clap. You use Zelle. Oh, I hate Zelle, CDC. A lot of scammers using Zelle. I stay away from Zelle. And it gets fully integrated into Bank of America. And Bank of America still keeps trying to get me to use Zelle transactions, and I refuse to sign up for it. And it's really hard to avoid it when you're on Bank of America. It is hard to stay away from Zelle. But a friend of mine had money sent to someone through Zelle, not authorized by them. They contacted Bank of America, and Bank of America was like, "Oh, it wasn't our fault. You gotta go talk to the people at Zelle." And I'm just like, "Yeah, that's not good." So I stay away from Zelle. Don't use it. You're glad you got rid of your Sheeb and your Pepe? You're willing to bet with your Dogecoin too, huh, Ryan? Yeah, if Ultimate Bet or those other online sports betting sites accepted Dogecoin, would you bet with your Dogecoin? Would you bet with your Dogecoin? Joe is hoping that Doge continues to trade sideways until money from his stock sales hit his bank. Hi, KB. How are you? Hi, Danny. Hi, CDC. Yo, Charlotte. How's everybody doing? Matt, you need money to make money. That's what I say. Takes money to make money, right? So you think you're going to make about $50,000 in profits this cycle, and then you're going to hold on to that until the next bear, hoping the next bear will have low prices to buy in again. If you're a believer in the 4-year cycles, that could still happen. I don't know how, of course, this bull cycle isn't over yet. We don't know how high prices are going to go, but how much will they dip? Don't know. A 444,000 Bitcoin prediction. It's just as good as any other prediction. It doesn't mean anything. So I've heard predictions from 120, 150, 180, 225, 500, up to $1 million. And it's just like, maybe one day. Exactly. All those pie in the sky predictions are silly. They're drawing infinite lines on the chart. Exactly, Johnny. You got it. You got it. CDC, $159,000. It's going to be what it's going to be. Doge is unpredictable. Absolutely. Hi, Jay. How are you? What do you think would happen in the event Ripple acquires Circle, with Circle going with its IPO? I don't know. I don't think Ripple's going to acquire Circle. Because what do they have to give them? XRP tokens, right? That they mint and they just print out of random thin air. That's not going to work. That's all they have. Just print more XRP tokens. Is this fall not part of the cycle? Yeah, it is. I think the bull cycle of the election is over, since all the news is over with, but another could start. It's still a 4-year cycle. I've been talking about the 4-year cycles. And that 4-year cycle in the 4-year time frame wouldn't end until December 2025. So this fall is included in the bull cycle that included last November's presidential run. It's all part of the same cycle. And we have had a pullback from January to April. And that was all on the backs of the tariffs. Somebody left a comment on my video this morning. If you believe that crypto went down because of tariffs, you don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, actually, I do. Because not only crypto, but stocks went down because of the fear of what the impact of the tariffs were going to be on the economy. There was no other explanation for why crypto went down but that. I do know what I'm talking about. I don't know who this guy was, and I'm just like, I just can't leave that comment sitting there without responding to it. It's just like, that's just a dumb comment. Oh, I should have labeled it dumb comment of the day because it was. It's like, come on. Everybody knows why all the markets went down from January to April. You've got faith in Musk. Oh, no. You have no faith in Musk doing anything with Doge. That could be. That could be. Johnny, you'll stick with a bank over Twitter? I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to give it a try. Yeah, CDC, pay me my overtime in Doge. No taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime. Pay me in Doge. Ah, no money to buy. The robo-taxi accepting Doge. Ryan, that would be huge. The cyber taxis have a Dogecoin option. Pay in Dogecoin. We already know they're accepting it for the boring tunnels. Why not the cyber taxis? I buy in stages, been buying $20 every day, 50 to 150 every major dip. That's commitment, Johnny. So Jay, you're buying 10,000 shares of Circle. Little scared. I don't buy into IPOs. They're risky. I'd say like 90% of the IPOs, you're overpaying on the price, and it takes a while for it to find that level again. That's just the way most IPOs go. But every once in a while, one of them just takes off. Could Circle be one of those? You know, investing is a gamble in that way, right? Are you willing to gamble 10,000 shares of Circle as opposed to just buying more Dogecoin? I don't know. That's your call. Johnny, the robo-taxi's coming. The cyber taxis are coming. Elon says he's going to start rolling them out in Austin. We'll see. It's happening now, Johnny. It's happening now. Driverless cars. They're popping up in cities. There's even some being test driven in Boston now. They haven't mapped out all the Boston streets yet, but it's here. But San Francisco, they're everywhere. Austin, Texas, they're everywhere now. The amount of different coins to keep track of is overwhelming. I know. I lived that. Last fall, I had 27, 28 different cryptos in my portfolio. At the peak, I had 28 different cryptos. And I was just like, it was too much. Even though I had my spreadsheets and I had my portfolios and all of that, it was still too much for me. So I made the commitment that when I started selling for profit to buy the house, I wasn't going to buy all those back. Wasn't going to buy all those back. Doge, Bitcoin. I still have ETH, still have a little Litecoin. I have my Trump collectibles, and I have Peak. And on crypto.com, I still have some Crow tokens that are staked and like doing their thing. That's it. I'm not buying anymore. There's some great projects out there. I could have made more money buying back into SWE, but I was just like, no, I'm just going to buy Doge. What's up, Blake? Watch out for July. Is that a good or bad thing? If you mean there's going to be a big drop, just be ready with some cash to buy on the dips. If you believe in crypto going forward and going up higher this fall, like I do, that will be a buying opportunity. You would play Texas Hold'em with your Doge, CDC? Matt, you think you're going to make more than 50 G's? 50 G's of my profit is going to circulate into the next bear. And the rest, those are what Raw Paul calls life chips, right? Those are life chips. Enjoy a few things. Not so bad. You mean Ripple could take on the debt? Backed by what? XRP tokens? Who's going to believe that? They just mint them whenever they want. Or their own stable coin, right? That's what they have. Nobody's fallen for that. Yeah, a little bit of a dip right now. Came down to 19.3, back up to 19.4. Puffery. I miss Justin on X. Somehow his account got banned. But he always talked about the puffery. You know, it's just good to have those points of view and just know that Elon has talked a lot, but he hasn't followed through when it comes to Dogecoin. Yep, Ryan. Pay off the loans, then use the profits to make money. But yes, getting out of debt. That's the first thing to do. Get out of debt. You know what I didn't have to do 2 days ago? 2 days ago, what did I not have to do? I didn't have to pay rent. I didn't have to pay a mortgage. Boy, the end of the month or beginning of the next month, it's a whole different feeling when you don't have to pay that. It's a whole different feeling. My taxes, yeah, every 3 months I have a tax bill I have to pay. That's the price you pay living in Boston, a property tax, which pays for the schools, the fire, the police, right? There's crime on my street. I kind of want the police to show up. You know, that's what's paying for that. Tariffs are the only reason it went down. People took liquidity out. Yeah, I don't know why this guy was saying, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just like, duh. Hey, Sean. Bitcoin 150 to 200, Dogecoin 65.85 cents. Just looking at what the market cap has to be over $1 would be about 150 billion. Yep, 144 billion. That's how many, or 145 now. How many Dogecoins there are. But yeah, all that's in play. Might fall down to the support line, Abe. It might. Right now it's about 19.1. If we see that, but holding up. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Yeah, Waymo is here. Waymo is being tried out in Boston. So there's a few Waymo cars going around. Somehow they're being trained on the streets or something. I think I read that somewhere. That's what FSD essentially does for Tesla, is the more Tesla FSD is used in different cities, the better it is to navigate those streets, because it learns. It's constantly learning as it's driving around the city. So that's pretty cool. A roulette wheel is also circle shaped. I got that, Doug. That was good. That was good. Life is a circle. Didn't Post Malone have a song called Circle? I'd play it, but I'd get a copyright strike. I don't need that. Circle. Yeah, Post Malone song. That came out a couple years ago. I remember that. Yeah, let's give Elon a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, right? SpaceX, self-driving cars, finding fraud, waste, and abuse in the government. Hey, Lucifer's in the house. How are you? I'm a low-key Satoshi. Hey, I just believe in getting rid of the banks, getting rid of fiat. Why not use Dogecoin for what Satoshi meant Bitcoin to be? Use Dogecoin. Forks just picked up some Doge at 19.4. Got some on the dip right there. My uncle just sent us a second video the other day of him with his girlfriend cruising around San Francisco in a self-driving car. Yeah, they're all over San Fran. That city is well mapped. And there's like 3 or 4 different companies that you can choose from, including, using your own Tesla. But when the cybercab, right? When the cybercab comes out, they'll be all over San Francisco. Thank you, Lucifer, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Enough for everyone to win. Everybody wins. It's not a competition. I'm happy you're making money on your Pepe or your WIF or your Bonk, even your casino coin or whatever. Fine, great, that's awesome. I'm buying Dogecoin. Yeah, that's okay, Lucifer. You haven't been around, but you're here. We're all safe. RR, have a good evening. I hope Doge has gone to $1 when I wake up. You never know. How are you? I'm doing great, Ali. Hey, guys, I've got a surprise tomorrow. I've got a surprise. I'm going to live stream outside. It is going to be the most beautiful day of the year here in Boston. And I'm going to do an outdoor live stream. My son was showing me a live stream yesterday, a guy he watches, Ian on YouTube, did this live stream. He lives in like Palm Springs, California. And he did this And he did this outdoor live stream, and he was showing me part of it. And I was just like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I should do that. He was like, you should, Dad. You should do that. So we're going to have a special Dogecoin outdoor live stream tomorrow. I know, not a surprise. It'll be a surprise to everybody else, Ryan. Except you guys that are here now, you're hearing it from me. Just giving you a little prep that it's going to be outdoors tomorrow. And I'm not going to have all the charts and stuff. It's going to be nice and big, me. We're going to do that tomorrow outside. It's going to be such a beautiful day. So we're going to do an outdoor live stream tomorrow. So check that out. Check that out. You mentioned once before moving to CoinMarketSpace. You were using Excel to keep track of all coins. Yeah. So a lot of those third parties, whether you use CoinStats or there's a bunch of other ones, you connect your wallets to them, and they're supposed to automatically calculate through your wallet. Your wallet may not know everything, which is why I use the spreadsheet. Because the spreadsheet more accurately calculates each and every trade, as opposed to connecting your wallets. It may not be able to track if you've transferred coins from an exchange to a wallet or one wallet to another wallet. It won't know what the initial buy price was, like all of that stuff. So I don't rely on that. I used, and in fact, I still use this one, CoinMarketCap, for the KrissPax DCA portfolio. I still use this just to track where we are on this portfolio if I had saved all that Doge, but I still have all these other coins in this portfolio. I still have all of this. And I just keep this right here, and we'll see what happens come fall time and whether I start selling any of this, taking some profits on this or something. But I still have this. And this is just a free portfolio for CoinMarketCap. And I just manually put in each individual buy into this. And it matches my spreadsheet. I didn't connect a wallet or do it that way. I manually put in each individual purchase. And it matches my spreadsheet. But that was just to show this. And this is just much easier to use on a day-to-day basis on where that initial $10,000 investment is. And now it's at $28,000. So still pretty good, but it was up to $50,000 early December last year. Just keeping that going. Who needs the song being played when I can just sing it? If I only knew the words. It just not one of my favorite songs. I just remember hearing it a lot. Post Malone. Buenos dias, amigos. You're building the first crypto portfolio app that will receive payments in Doge? Good luck with that, Ali. Well, nice of you to join us, Lucifer. Thank you. Thank you, Prajwal. Appreciate it. We're having fun. You got to do the all eyes on Doge out the patio door in your stream. The dance. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be dancing. But we'll be outdoors. That'll be fun. Just outdoors. Pax Cat will not be outdoors. No. He sits inside at the screen door and he goes, meow, meow. And I'm like, yeah, you're inside. You don't come out. No, you're not going to get to see the big, beautiful house. I'm going to keep that private. Kriss bought a house with an outside. I know. How about that, huh? Sunny and 80 here in Northeast Ohio, not a cloud in the sky. That's what's going to be here tomorrow. Exactly that, Adam, which is why I'm going to be outside live streaming tomorrow, because we're going to have that beautiful weather here. The Canadian fire's a little hazy. See, Charlotte, this is what you're going to find out. I don't have neighbors behind me over the fence. I have a very, let's just say where the house is located, there's no house behind me. There's a hill that goes up and it's just trees. And the house on that side, it's on the other side of a little forest of trees. So it's pretty private. It's pretty private. You'll see that tomorrow. Your app will have grok in it. In calculations. Awesome, Allie. That sounds great. Yep. Don't want to dox myself. Don't want people to know what I'm just not showing the outside of the house. My prediction is it will either go up or down. DJ Dan, awesome. Love it. But hopefully up. Yeah, hit the like button. Another day and like no 69 likes. 50 likes is too weak. 69 likes. Come on, guys. We're having fun, right? We're having fun. Good afternoon, Andros. Welcome. Jason, how are you? 3.5 days of trading sideways. Still here, Jason. We're still here. Just sideways. It's actually a little bit of an uptrend, though. See, I drew this line. See, it's a little bit of an uptrend since what we had on Friday night. We came down to 1869, and now it's higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher. Let's see. This is why I said we bottomed. I think we bottomed, guys. Yep, the cat is not allowed up. Mostly because I don't trust him. Don't trust him. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, Abe. Boston, Massachusetts. I have neighbors on this side. I have neighbors on that side, but I've got none behind me and none the other side. And that's what you're going to see tomorrow. They have no idea who I am. No. I'm the new guy. They have no idea. The cat liked the video. Thank you, cat. Shame on you people. Like the stream. Still don't have 69. Oh my gosh. I don't trust myself either. Not Austin. You're not going to have a bunch of cyber cabs running around Austin, Texas? I think you will. I think you will. Texas eliminated the capital gains tax. Did they really? So that would be the state side. You would still have to pay federal. But if the state is going to vote away capital gains tax, awesome for that state. But you still have to pay the IRS. Oh, it was a joke from a movie. I didn't see that one, so I didn't get it. Woo! Right over Chris's head. Hey, we made 69 likes. Thank you all. That wasn't that hard. Yeah, no state tax. Yeah, we covered James Nguyen yesterday. Is there anything going on with him today? I did not check. I didn't check. Scam alert, Telegram channel. Let's Win Together is not mine. That's why I'm not on Telegram. Somebody said that I was on Telegram, and I'm like, nope, not me. So if you're on Telegram, if you're on Instagram, if you're on WhatsApp, and somebody is pretending to be KrissPax, that's not me. Scam. So James Nguyen also scammers. Donald Trump Jr. says his family is all in on Bitcoin and crypto because they were debanked. It's a good reason. Bitcoin is the only market in history where buyers come in, they buy $1 billion worth of asset, and the price goes down. It's all a matter of timing. Not taking risks is the risk in itself. Yeah, so James Nguyen wants the Bitcoin price to go up to take out the shorts because he's going to make a ton of money on his trade. But so far, his trade is holding. I will be the example of what making it all back in one trade looks like. Maybe. But I'm not touching his Moonpig thing. And apparently he sent a ton of them over to Andrew Tate. And it's like, if Andrew Tate's involved, I'm definitely not involved. I'm definitely not involved. Higher highs, higher lows. That's what's happening. And he's tracking it too with Bitcoin. I'm tracking it with Doge. Yeah, so he's happy because his trade is looking pretty good right now. So that's the update on Win. You're a resident of Palau, Jonathan? I've been to Palau. I went scuba diving in Palau. It was the best scuba diving ever. But yes, I have been to Palau. Beautiful island. Awesome. Good luck with everything there, Jonathan. Loved Palau. Loved it. We were there for, I guess about 4 days. We did 2 days of diving, and then we did 2 days of just hanging out, enjoying the island, and just so our bodies could then recalibrate from the pressures of the diving before we got on an airplane. So that's what we did. So we were there 4 days. Great. That was so awesome. I loved Palau. Saw lots of sharks, schools of barracuda, big sea tortoises. Just awesome. They were the best dives I've ever had were Palau. If you guys didn't know I was a scuba diver, now you know. Did they come over with big cookies when you moved into the neighborhood? We have received a number of gifts from our neighbors. Yes, we have. No state taxes in Texas, but property taxes are kind of high. That makes sense. Kriss has the true House of Doge. But that'd be cool to get that. Get a custom welcome mat that says House of Doge. Yeah. And yes, I got a gift basket from one of the neighbors right in the middle of a live stream. Yes, I did that. Or that happened, yes. And we're still eating some of the snacks that are left. House of Doge welcome mat would be cool. Is the tariff war ever going to end? It's going to be a while. Eventually, they'll figure it out and things will normalize. But right now, it's still a so-called war. World War III stuff, I don't give much credence to that. But you're a scuba diver, Monica. Awesome. Great Barrier Reef, Fiji, and in New York. And New York wasn't the best? Are you kidding? Like in Boston, I was like, yeah, I can't dive here. I can't dive here. I've dived in Cancun. I've dived in Florida. I've dived in the Marianas. The Marianas is just awesome. And Palau. And it's just like, yeah, I'm not diving in Boston. You actually dived in New York. Yeah, cold diving. Visibility was probably terrible. Yeah. Not doing that. Yeah, I dived in the Caribbean as well, down in St. Lucia. Also did a dive down in St. Lucia. I'm glad we're not involved in the war with Ukraine and Russia. Oh, but we are. But that's the thing, CDC. We are involved. So, yeah. Hard to get out of that. I mean, look at Lindsey Graham. He just keeps going down there and spending more taxpayer dollars. We are involved. Big time. So what's Doge doing right now? It's hanging. Doge just hanging. But it is start of an uptrend. We drew this line yesterday during the live stream, and it's still holding well. Still believing that yesterday I called the bottom. And the bottom was from a few days earlier. Just need to get over 20 cents, come back, retest it as support, and move higher. That's the next move for Doge. It would be to move up over 20 cents, come back, retest as support, and then move higher. That would be the most bullish move ever, would be that. Cave diving. Nope. Haven't done that. I've been in a shipwreck before. On Guam, went into a ship with had the ropes and went inside. That was pretty cool. It was an old World War II freighter that is that's in one of the bays. That was pretty cool. But not cave diving. Nope. Your ears won't pop, Bruce. Ah, bummer. Yeah, that would be very painful. You must have a tough time with airplane flights too, when the pressure is built up. All I do is just blow on my nose on the airplane rides, and my ears pop, and all is good. But yeah, that must hurt, Bruce. Cool Doge, just hanging out. Dogecoin hibernating. Is it a sleeping giant, Jay? I believe so. But I'd like to get these like little moves up and retests. I'd like to see that. Just get out of the teens. Let's get out of the teens. Cave diving, not for you either, CDC. Yeah. I'm not doing it. Where can I find the liquidation heat map for Doge? So you go to this website called coinglass.com. Coinglass.com is the website. And then once you're there, coinglass.com, there's a liquidation menu. You come down to liquidation heat map. You click on that. And that will take you to the opening heat map, which will be the Bitcoin heat map on Binance. If you want to get to the Doge one, you have to click on this little button called symbol right here. So you click on symbol. It then gives you the Bitcoin heat map again. But right here, there's a little pull down menu. It says BTC. You click on the little arrow and you come down and you hit Doge. And that's how you get to the Doge heat map. And then you can change it to be a view of 24 hours or 48 hours. Oh, look at that. That dip down that just happened. That took out some long leverage right there on Doge. We just had a bunch of it right there that happened in the last half hour. New leverage traders just got wiped out. There's some bigger ones down here, 18.6. And that's where we were looking at. If there was going to be a dip, it would be right there to take out that leverage on Doge. I don't think it's going down there. Some nice new shorts up here. Go get them. Right over 20 cents. So that's the Doge heat map. It's right there. You're welcome. Buy the dip to 16 cents. I don't know, Paul. 16 cents. I called the bottom at 18.6. I don't think we're going to be seeing 16 cents for a long time. Next bear market, maybe. But good luck. Maybe it'll fill. Maybe you'll get a big wick down and fill your order. But chances are it's not going down to 16. So you got to be ready for that. Bitcoin also hanging out, also on the same sort of upward trajectory here. I should have drawn it as well, right? Because Doge is just kind of following Bitcoin. We thought we might see a pullback to liquidate James Wynn, but it hasn't happened. So the so-called James Wynn might actually win on that bet. He might actually win, being the name James Wynn, of course. James Wynn. I have no idea who this guy really is. He says, we're now in June. Will my thesis play out? If so, the next 8 weeks will offer exponential gains. He is betting on this summer prices continuing to go up. I think we're going to see this kind of big explosive run here in the fall, and it's just going to be chopping up and down through the summer. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, he's gonna continue to pump his moon pig and continue to pump Bitcoin because that's where he's heavily invested. No, I'm not touching moon pig. He gave a bunch to Andrew Tate, who I wouldn't trust with any kind of investing. Never say never when Trump is in power. Well, Jay, yeah, there's kind of a wild card there, but I think most of that is over. I think we've been through the worst on that. Remember, Doge did drop down to 13 cents. But that could be it. My buying of Doge is dependent on the calendar, A-star. I have no dry powder now. So come June 15th, we'll see what's going on. But I have no buy price point right now because I have no money to buy. Everything is in the markets. I do have my next quarterly tax bill coming up. So I do have to pay that. Again, these are my profits. I'm prepaying my tax on my profits that I took back in January. Hope we have an explosive pump up in the summer and a catastrophic pump in the fall. Hey, I'll take that, Adam. I'm not expecting the summer pump, though. Not expecting it. Yep, cash poor, crypto rich. Cash just deflates. Crypto goes up. In a bull market, crypto goes up. Holding a bunch of cash right now just doesn't make sense to me. Some people are doing it, but not me. You like the dips at the beginning of the month? Yeah, I thought I was being smart buying on that dip. Right when it dipped below 20 cents, I was like, whoo, 19-cent Doge, all right. And a day later, it drops down to 18. It was just like, duh. But that happens. That happens. Yes, the Robinhood purchase of Bitmart or whatever they were called, that went through today. How all of that is going to get incorporated together, I don't know. I don't know how Robinhood's going to do that. Completely different platforms. But Robinhood now owns them. They said at the Bitcoin conference that the advantage of doing that is to get more into the trading side of things. Robinhood stock was a good buy 6 months ago. Now it's like almost all-time highs, Jay. But 6 months ago, that was the time to buy Robinhood stock. Now you're like, is it all-time high now? It's up there. I know that. $71. Yep. I guess it did spike up back in 2021. This was the IPO. But if you discount the IPO, this is why whoever was talking about Circle IPO, there are people who bought the Robinhood IPO back in 2021 that didn't see profit until 2025. It took 4 years to get back up. You talk about a cup and handle. Look at that. There's your cup and handle right there. Classic Robinhood stock. Actually, we did look at this and we called a dip here right below $30. I've got a little green circle here. Look at that. But yeah, I was swing trading this back here. I bought down at like $15 and I sold up here at $28, $29. So that was a good swing. I didn't know it was going to keep going up like that. But yeah, if you're going to buy it now, you're at all-time highs. So does that mean it's going to keep going up or not? I don't know. But that's where Robinhood stock is. You bought yours at 32 bucks, Doug? Yep, that's a good buy. You're up over double now. Not bad. On a stock, right? Double on a stock. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll bet the RSI is all overbought here, and like all the indicators would point to this not being the time to buy. That's why I buy Dogecoin. And Megal for the free money. Megal is up today. What's your average price? I bought some at $1.29, and then I bought some at $1.20 and $1.21 on the dip yesterday. And now it's at $1.36. So yeah, I'm up already quite a bit on that. Where does it go, Michael? I have no idea. When it starts running, you just have to take a wild guess, because it'll start running at some point in time. It'll go on a big run, and then you just start layering out. Last time I started layering out at $1.70 to $1.90. It ended up going over $2. I didn't sell the top, but that was a good swing trade. Is it more advantageous to allocate all profits to debt repayment now? I am all about getting rid of debt first, Matt. I'm all about getting rid of debt. There are some who counter that argument and say if you can make more by keeping debt, like if you have a mortgage, if your mortgage is low, like 3 or 4%, then investing that money makes more financial sense. Personally, I just wanted to get rid of the bank. I didn't like the bank co-owning my house, or in fact owning it. I didn't like that. And because I made so much in crypto, I was able to just buy a new house cash to not have any debt at all. And that was my approach, was just no debt. And I've told my story of how I got out of my credit card debt, paid off my school loan, paid off the car loan, all of that. So I'm debt-free now. And that feels good. Yes, I still pay a property tax. But again, as I've said, that's the price of owning a home, having that property tax. And no, they're not going to come take my house away from me. You pay the property tax because here in Boston, that's the money that pays for the schools, the police, the fire, and other things they do around town. They, have the sewer lines and like if any work needs to be done on that, that's a good thing, right? So that money is just not being wasted. Yep, I'm news here. unMineable, 520 pounds of profit on the last run. You're back in, right, New? You're back in unMineable? Did you buy on the dip? I did. I'm all back in. Ready for the next big run. It's like free money. That's what I keep saying. It's like free money. I told you guys, right? As soon as it got below $1.30, start buying in the 120s. I bought some at $1.29 and went down to $1.21. So I bought more and even got some at $1.20. 1,200 shares. Awesome. You're in. Free money. Free money, baby. Yeah, goes back to $2. The politicians' kickback on property taxes? No, not here. Well, there's probably some. Okay. You're probably right. There's probably some. But like, if a house is on fire, I kind of want the fire department to come. DB, 5K completed. Thought about all you guys the whole time. You went on a run? Exactly. Put your profit into Doge. Now, I guess I know what Matt's doing, right? He's still thinking, and I don't blame him. Bull run, bear run, bull market, bear market. All indications are 2026, 2027 going to be a bear market if you follow the 4-year cycles. So if you hold on to Dogecoin, then you're going to round trip it through another bear cycle. Maybe it's best. Now, I wouldn't put it in fiat. I would get like USDC. I'd put it there on Coinbase. And then it can be generating some yield, at least a little bit. You're making money on it, but it's not fiat. It's a USDC. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a stable coin and it's based on a 1-to-1 with the dollar. So there is that. But you're earning interest on it. It's not with a bank. Where do you think XRP is going? Jay, I don't follow XRP. There's no developments going on in Dubai, Jay. That's all Brad Garlinghouse just talking, making shit up. Really, it is. It's all made up. There's nothing real about that. XRP is not going to be a currency in Dubai. Not happening. Ripple is not buying Circle. Not happening. They're just making it up. They would like all those things, but you can't just say them and have them happen. It doesn't work that way. Just keeping it real, Jay. Just keeping it real about XRP. But man, it's more stories and mistruths about that than anything else in crypto. My property taxes don't go to transgender mice research. That's federal income tax. That's where that goes. And that's what we want to stop, is all that crap. Yeah, Mike, Tibbs is gone. I thought he was a good coach. He used to be an assistant coach here in Boston. We like Tibbs. The big 2008 season with Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. Tibbs was here then. Great coach. Very defensive-minded. I thought he got the best out of those players. I really did. I don't think that was a championship team. Getting him to the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 6. That was pretty good. I think a lot of that was on Tibbs. So when I heard earlier today they fired him, I just shook my head. I was just like, oh, that's dumb. But that's how it works, right? "28 minutes." I know. It is, your time is what your time. You compare it to you, right? Well, I can run it in 15 minutes. Whatever. Hey Jay, I just try and keep things real here. And when I read all that crap about XRP, it's just like, that's really what it is. So as long as you hear some of it, you don't have to believe it all, but just whenever you read something about XRP or Ripple, just have a little birdie in your head. Just question, is this really true? And if you just do that, you're ahead of 99% of the other XRP holders, because it's not. Does that mean no movement in price? Nope. You can make money on XRP. The price will go up when the whole market goes up. XRP will have its little runs here and there. You can make money on it. I just don't like the project. Forks, I just stopped at a truck stop with a Steak and Shake. Going to offer to pay with Doge. You can't. I talked to the guys at the Bitcoin conference at Steak and Shake, and they said only Bitcoin. And I told them, I said, hey, this was the VP that I talked to. And I was like, hey, if you accept Dogecoin, you're going to get a lot better community support, and you're probably going to have a lot better sales accepting Dogecoin as opposed to Bitcoin. And he said, well, we're just doing Bitcoin right now. And he just left it at that. And I was like, okay, well, you might want to just think about Dogecoin. Your next board meeting, let's talk about Doge. Of course, I'm wearing a Dogecoin shirt, and I'm like at a Bitcoin conference. But it was funny. It was funny. But yeah, only Bitcoin. Doc Rivers still has his job. Yeah, Doc's okay. Getting a little old now. But he's all right. It's a shame Boston didn't keep Ime Udoka, who's now at Houston. I mean, he was having a fling with one of the VP's wives or something like that. It was just like ridiculous. That was bad. Just like, should have kept in his pants. I thought he was a good coach. The guy we have now, Missoula, is just like a data-driven guy. Thinks that it's better just to pump up a bunch of three-point shots because the numbers prove out that's going to win you more games. Yeah, see what it did this year. Exactly. Just tell Steak and Shake, well, sorry, going to eat somewhere else until you accept Doge. Exactly. And the poor girl working there is probably going to be like, whatever. Because she doesn't care. I mean, she's just like taking orders. Probably making just slightly over minimum wage. It's like, it's not her battle. You'll have to pry Bitcoin from people's cold, dead hands. I don't get it at all. I know. That's the sentiment right now. So Michael Saylor says, you don't sell your Bitcoin. And the girl might say, what's Doge? Exactly. And they're probably like, Bitcoin, really? We're accepting Bitcoin? Not giving them BTC, that's like cashing out your retirement for a burger. I can't imagine they're getting a lot of sales using Bitcoin. I just can't imagine that. What are their Bitcoin sales look like? I don't know. All right, gang. Hey, going sideways, still in the 19s, but, you know, there's hope. Looks like we are on this slight uptrend, higher lows, so we'll continue to look at this. Tomorrow, we're going to have an outside live stream. Beautiful day at Boston tomorrow. Going to be outside. So we'll have some fun with that. Shake it up a little bit because we'll probably just be going sideways again. I hope everyone has a great evening. I'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.